Overthinking isn't the enemy, it's a misunderstood protector. Hi there, welcome back to the Reset Room. If you've been following this overthinking series, you've made it all the way to episode 4. And honestly, I'm proud of you. Today, we're going to flip the script. Instead of asking, why do I overthink so much? We're going to be asking ourselves today, what is my overthinking trying to protect me from? This episode is about compassion, about understanding, about letting go, not through force, but through insight. If you've ever felt like your mind is running laps while your life stands still, this one's for you. You are in the right space. This is the Reset Room. Okay, overthinking is a shield, not a flaw. Overthinking is your brain's emergency backup system, only it's stuck in a loop. Here's something most people don't realize. Overthinking isn't a malfunction. It's actually a protection mechanism. It kicks in when your brain feels unsafe, uncertain, or vulnerable, and it says, hey, let me calculate every possible scenario so we don't mess this up or get hurt. Sounds familiar? Well, maybe you're trying to make the right decision at work. Or you sent a text and are now dissecting every word you wrote. Or you're lying in bed replaying that one awkward moment from 3 weeks ago. That's not because you're broken. It's because a part of you is trying desperately to prevent future pain by predicting every possible threat. But here's the twist. The real threat overthinking is trying to avoid isn't failure, rejection, or even embarrassment. It's actually trying to protect from disconnection, emotional pain, and at the core, fear, the fear of not being enough. Let me share this with you real quick. A few years ago, I had an opportunity to speak at a really big event, like life-changing big, and I turned it down. Why? Because I wasn't sure I was ready. Because I needed more time, I wanted everything to be perfect. But none of those things were the real reasons. The truth, I was scared. Scared I would get up there and freeze, or be judged, or feel like a fraud in front of people who were smarter or more accomplished than I was. So my brain did what it thought was best. It overanalyzed, it looped, it hesitated, and it kept me safe. In reality, it kept me small. And when I finally traced the pattern back, I realized my overthinking wasn't about logic. It was about avoiding shame. See, overthinking was trying to shield me from feeling exposed, inadequate, or rejected. But it didn't protect me. It paralyzed me. My overthinking wasn't about making the perfect decision. It was about avoiding shame. So here are 3 core fears behind overthinking. Your overthinking has a job, and that job is to protect you from these 3 things. Over the years, I've found that overthinking is often trying to protect us from one or more of these 3 core fears. The first one is the fear of rejection. The second is the fear of failure. And the third, fear of uncertainty. So we ask ourselves this question sometimes. If I think it through enough, I won't get hurt. Or if I analyze everything, I won't make mistakes. Or if I can control every variable, then nothing bad will happen. I'm sure some of this sounds familiar to some of us. See, these fears, they're not bad in and of themselves. They come from a deep human place. But when overthinking becomes our primary defense, we stop trusting ourselves. We confuse rumination with readiness. We mistake paralysis for protection. However, the real truth is that you don't need to overthink to stay safe. You need to trust that you'll survive even if you fail. Before you silence your thoughts, ask them what they're trying to protect you from or what they're trying to say. The next time you catch yourself spiraling, pause and gently ask, what exactly am I afraid might happen? What's the worst I'm trying to avoid? What part of me needs reassurance right now? Instead of saying, I need to stop overthinking, because that would not work most of the time. Try saying, I hear you, brain. Thank you for trying to protect me, but I've got this now. And again, you don't necessarily have to say it exactly the same way, word for word, but you get the point. Return to the conscious, pause, and get your brain to actually consciously respond to you. What exactly is it are you trying to protect me from? That's not weakness. That's self-leadership. You don't get rid of overthinking by fighting it. You reset by understanding it. So, I want us to do some sort of wrapping up or recap on this overthinking series. Overthinking isn't your enemy. It's your nervous system crying out for safety. Let's zoom out and reflect on what we've learned over the past 4 series, or over this 4 series. In episode 1, we looked at what overthinking really is. We unpacked what overthinking looks like, what it feels like, and how it shows up differently, from decision paralysis to constant rumination. In episode 2, we looked at why we overthink and how this is not a fault of ours. We explored how our overthinking is rooted in past experiences and survival instincts, not in being weak or flawed. In the 3rd episode, we looked at how we could stop overthinking without forcing it. We explored practical and compassionate ways to reduce overthinking through grounding, journaling, naming emotions, and self-trust. And in this episode, we've looked at what overthinking is trying to protect us from. We've come full circle. We now know everything about overthinking and what it's trying to protect us from. We now know overthinking is a protective instinct, one we can soothe, not suppress. The reset isn't in shutting your brain off. It's in listening to what it's really trying to say. So here's what I want to leave you with. If you overthink, it doesn't mean you're broken. It means you care deeply. It means your brain is working overtime to help you stay safe. But now you know more. You can meet that overthinking with curiosity, not judgment. You can say to yourself, I no longer need to live in a loop. I'm ready to live in the moment. And that, my friend, is the beginning of peace. Thank you for joining me on this journey through overthinking. And if you found this series helpful, I would love for you to share it with someone who needs to hear it also. If this episode and series has inspired you, I'd be grateful if you can like the video, subscribe, hit the bell button, and share it with someone who needs a change in direction. In the next series, we'll be diving into boundaries and respect. Until then, remember, overthinking isn't who you are. It's just how your brain has learned to cope, and you can rewrite and reset the script. This is the Reset Room, and you're exactly where you're meant to be. I'm glad you're here. See you on the next one.